What's going on YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be comparing the 1906 Rosewater and the 1906 R Medusa Azul by Action Bronson.
Till the sun just won't rise and heaven's under eyes. I'm living to die for you, there ain't none after you.
So if you guys can't tell, I did move. This is a completely new space and it is still a work in progress. I only have a fraction of my shoes here and there's no decorations behind me. It's just bland. I got some posters on the wall. I just ordered some New Balance posters to hang up here, so just bear with me for these next couple days, these next videos, until I get the place completely decked out in New Balance. So what this video is a video I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I think I finally am ready to compare these two sneakers. For those that have seen my channel know that I am the biggest supporter of the Action Bronson collabs. They're my favorite. I just love them. These two shoes are some of my favorite sneakers I own. So I want to help you guys make the decision if you're trying to toss up to get a pair or you're just trying to figure out which one you like more. I'm here to give you my opinion on which I think you should buy, which one I think is a little bit better between these two sneakers. Now there is a third pair, the Scorpius pair, super expensive sneaker. I'll probably never own that, so I'm just pretending like that doesn't exist. We're just gonna break down the materials, the comfort, the looks, the way you can style it, the way you can wear it, just an overall assessment of which sneaker is better for an everyday lifestyle or which sneaker I think you can get more wear out of. To start things off, I do want to say that I've wear tested this sneaker, this specific one, for the last 50 or 60 days, just non-stop rocking the Rosewaters. I'm more experienced with this sneaker than I am, say, the Medusa Azul, but I have worn this a hefty amount to the point where I'm able to make that comparison now. So we're just gonna start off with the comfort. Now, the comfort on these sneakers is almost identical. There is things that make the sneaker more comfortable compared to the two of them. So what I want to say about the comfort is the same midsole. So overall, you're getting the same comfort walking, as opposed to like the breathability and the way the shoe feels on your foot is a lot different between the two sneakers, and that's due to materials. So comfort, you're going to get the same comfort sneaker, but you're going to get a different feel from the materials. And let's get right into the materials. So for the materials, for the Rosewater, we get a lot of fused overlays, right? So there's basically one thing of mesh that goes all the way around the sneaker, and then you got some like plastic fused overlays that go all around the sneaker that make it look very sharp and sleek. Now for the Medusa Azuls, you do get overlays, but they're not fused into the mesh. You get these nylon reflectives that wrap around the entire sneaker, and they're 3D, they come off, they're stitched into the sneaker. So it doesn't necessarily make the shoe uncomfortable or any less comfortable. I just personally think my foot bends better and moves better in these fused overlays as opposed to the just regular overlays that are just sewn on top. The Rosewater is it's almost like a thinned out version, like it's lost some weight. If you look at it, there's less material on it just as far as the upper. Now the back is essentially the same, but it just feels like a slimmer, sleeker version of the 1906. Now most 1906s will look like this, they'll have all these overlays. I personally think that this just looks a little bit better because it's more sleek and it's just unique, and I think Action Bronson really utilized the creativity in that. As far as the looks of the mesh and the upper, I think they both look really great. I don't know which one I like more as far as looks. As far as comfort, I said the Rosewaters, but the looks, I think this might take away for the looks. I like the way this looks better than the fused overlays. This is better for like comfort and performance reasons. I think this looks a little better for just your aesthetics, if you get what I'm saying. And it reflects better. I think this reflects better than this. You still get a lot of reflective from this, but the overlays on this sneaker are a lot better in my opinion. So speaking about reflectives, both these sneakers are extremely reflective. This, I think, is like two things reflective, like two different types of reflective 3M reflectives. So it's a very standout sneaker when you turn the flash on a camera or you have the lights off. This one, you still get a good reflective. That's the special effect in this. But I really like that this almost gets like a jellyfish effect because the Medusa Azul is a jellyfish. This gets like a jellyfish vibe because Action Bronson worked that in with the reflectives. So another noticeable difference between the materials is the mudguard. The mudguard on the Rosewater does feature a white suede or like a cream suede, and the Medusa Azuls features a rubber canvas almost. Now, nothing is more important to me on a sneaker than durability. I love to actually beat up my sneakers and rock them. This is so much more durable than the suede. Suede's durable, but it doesn't hold the test of time. It kind of looks a little rusty. It doesn't look as good over time. This black rubber canvas is gonna hold up very well over time, and it's gonna give you exactly what you need from it. I think he should use this on a lot more sneakers. I think other collaborators should use this material on their sneakers. I just think it's extremely durable, and it fits really well with the vibe of this specific sneaker. The meshes, specifically, this is just one mesh with pink underlays in it. It's pretty thin and very breathable. This one looks like we got like a 2-layered mesh, like a purple and blue, and it's a little more thicker. You still get the same amount of breathability, I think. Maybe this is a little more breathable, but for the most part, this is still very comfortable mesh, and it looks very cool. It's like very like old school mesh, it's very holy, as I like to call it. The laces are identical. You got purple ones in these, bright yellow, green ones. These are my favorite laces of all time. I think this color looks amazing, and I would love for someday to put these laces in the baklavas. I think that would look amazing. I know Action Bronson says don't mess with his art, but sometimes you gotta mess with perfection. For the tongues, they both have the same badge on the front. Tongue, 1906 baklava. New Balance, the tongues are completely different. They have like a honeycomb pattern on the Rosewaters. I think it's very interesting. I think it's comfortable. And then for the Medusa Azuls, you get this 3-dimensional like pyramid. Like, I honestly don't even know how to describe this. It's like an accordion almost. It's a very interesting material that I've never seen on a New Balance, and I don't think we'll ever see it again on a New Balance. It's extremely interesting, but the tongue on the Medusa Azul is more plush, and it almost feels better on your foot compared to the Rosewaters. Now, I don't know if that's because the difference in wear, but when I put the Medusa Azuls on for the first time, the sneaker felt fatter. It felt more chunkier. Not necessarily chunky, but it just felt more plush because there's more material on it compared to the Rosewaters. That's the main thing I would notice from the looks of like on foot. The Medusa Azul is a thicker shoe compared to the sleek Rosewater that I mentioned before. For midsoles, they're both pretty solid. They have little hints of other colors in them. Now the advantage the Medusa Azul has over the Rosewater is the sparkly heel cap that this carries. The Rosewater doesn't have a nice feature like that, but I mean that's just something that like makes it tie in with the jellyfish look of it. Now if we're gonna go to the outsoles, the Medusa Azul doesn't even stand a chance up against the Rosewaters. The Rosewaters, obviously, this pair is worn pretty heavily, but this is an amazing outsole, and I love it to death. As far as the ends, you do get that end lock technology, so the actual end of the shoe is made up of technology, and it starts from the bottom and goes up to the lace holes. You got an all silver one here that's extremely, this is the most reflective thing on the shoe, is these lace holes, and then these are just regular blue end stripes. I honestly really do like both of these ends. I would say the Rosewater has the advantages because I really like that blue. It just fits really well into that sneaker. But both of them are great. So now for the decision. I honestly didn't know what I was gonna say at the beginning of this video. I didn't know which one I wanted to make it. These are easily my top 2 sneakers of the year. If I had to pick one though, I'll say, okay, here, you get one. I'm gonna go with the Rosewaters. I think this is the most elegant and beautiful sneaker Action Bronson's made so far. I just love the name, I love the style, I feel like you can wear this more. Like I said, I've worn this for 60 days straight, and I never really had a problem styling it or trying to match it. This sneaker is a one of one, and if you don't have it, I highly recommend it. Like if you're gonna go buy a resale sneaker, I would definitely go get this sneaker. It's a shoe, it's a must-have is what I'm gonna say. But then again, don't get me wrong, the Medusa Azuls, if these didn't exist, this would be like an easy sneaker of the year, like no brainer. It's got a very tough competition with the Rosewaters. I love the Medusa Azuls, and maybe over time the Medusa Azuls will become my favorite. It was like that with the Lapis Azulis and the Baklavas. I love the Baklavas, and then I got the Lapis Azuli. I thought the Lapis Azuli was my favorite sneaker, and then I went back to the Baklavas. So I guess it just kind of depends on what your cup of tea is. If you like big, bold, bright colorways and exciting, and you kind of have more neutral colorways in your collection, go ahead and get the Medusa Azuls. But if you want just an everyday driver that's got style, it's got pizzazz, it's got character, get the Rosewaters, because this is a great everyday driver. Like, I wore this today. It's still a dope collab, and it still can be dressed down, dress up. I wear this to the gym all the time. I really love the Rosewaters. The Rosewaters are like my identity at this point in time. Usually it's like a gray 991 or something, but since I've been wearing these all summer long, this sneaker really has been my, like, I just love the sneaker a lot. I'm gonna start wearing the Medusa Azuls now that fall's coming around. Try and work these into the rotation more and go from there. Let me know which one's your favorite compared to these two. Leave a comment why. That's all I have for today, and we'll see you in the next one.